What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. I'll keep you up to date here. And also, thanks for hitting the like button for us as well. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. President Biden and the White House announces an additional $385 million to lower home energy bills for American families here through the LIHEAP programs that is available right now, basically for utility assistance that you can claim right now. And I'll show you how to do it. You can see it here directly from the White House. This is on whitehouse.gov. If I zoom this in here a little bit, you can see here total low income home energy assistance program funding reaches $8.3 billion for hard-pressed American families in 2022 alone, and we're only in April. And they've already approved $8.3 billion for basically utility assistance here. And they've just added an additional $385 million to help individuals with home energy costs, including summer cooling, through the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program known as LIHEAP. These funds are in addition to the $4.5 billion that the American Rescue Plan provided to LIHEAP and the first $100 million installment of a 5-year, $500 million investment in LIHEAP from President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law. Remember the infrastructure package that was passed here a few months ago. Although this year the Biden administration is providing more than $8.3 billion in LIHEAP assistance to reduce heating and cooling costs for low-income Americans, the largest investment in a single year since the program was established in 1981. Wow. And I think they're talking about this year here in 2022, and we're only here in April. And I mean, we still have 7-ish more months here to go. So there's really lots more that can be added here this year. You can see here the American Rescue Plan also provided other critical resources that states and localities can use to address home energy costs, including emergency rental assistance, which received an additional $21.5 billion from the last stimulus package. That was the one that had $1,400 stimulus checks. The first stimulus package passed underneath Biden, and can also help with past due utility bills or ongoing assistance with energy costs to help distressed renters avoid shutoffs and keep current expenses. Over $30 billion of emergency rent assistance funds have been obligated to assist households with rent and utility costs. The Treasury Department is also working with states and tribes to distribute $9.8 billion in funding for homeowners assistance funds, with the majority of approved plans including utility assistance to homeowners in need as well. And as you can see here, here is a brand new article. Millions of Americans will receive energy assistance worth thousands of dollars. Are you eligible? And just as an example here, residents in South Carolina, it's going to be available in all states here, but residents in South Carolina just received an additional $6 million here from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to assist with high energy costs. Here is some of the details here for a lot of these states. So as mentioned, South Carolina just got an additional $6 million for energy assistance. The funds were given to residents through the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. This is now available literally just became available here. So you now will be able to claim this new money. White House Assistant Press Secretary Emily Simons told Live 5 News the funding is imperative. Quote, extreme heat is the biggest cause of death of all weather related deaths. Wow. Quote, we know that low income families are in need of assistance paying their home energy bills. This is a big deal because we're getting close to those hot summer months, which definitely affects states like South Carolina, as an example. LIHEAP was created over 40 years ago with the intention of keeping families safe by providing assistance to those needed. The federally funded aid helps with costs like home energy bills, energy crisis, weatherization, and other energy related minor home repairs. Funding can range anywhere from $200 to $1,000 each year. And note that once you know how to get this, you can get it every single year. Sometimes I think varies by state, but you can get it sometimes per season. Sometimes I believe you can get it more than once per year, but it varies per state. As you can see here, it is determined by the states. To qualify, residents must need financial assistance with their home energy costs. Those who participate or have family members who participate in other benefits programs like SNAP, SSI, or TANF, TANF, are most likely automatically eligible. This is another program that also has financial assistance as well, TANF. To qualify, your household must meet, you can look that up here as well. To qualify, your household must meet these limits before taxes. A household of one, 20,385. Household of two, 27,465. Household of three, 34,545. You can see these on the screen. Household of four, 41,625. Household of five, 48,705. Household of six, let me scroll this back up here, 55,785. Household of seven, 62,865. And a household of eight, just under 70,000, 69,945. And this might vary a little bit by state. I'm not sure about that. But if you're under these, then you're probably going to qualify. Again, each state might vary a little bit. And also, each state might have a little bit different name than LIHEAP. I believe New York has a different name as well. But just know that each state could have a different name. For states and territories participating in the LIHEAP program, here are the dates to apply. It says dates to apply, not necessarily deadlines, so I'm not sure about that. May 1st, Delaware, Maryland, Mississippi, New York, South Carolina, West Virginia. You can pause the screen here if you need to. June 1st, Alabama, Indiana, Nebraska, Oklahoma. June 15th, Virginia. Year round, American Samoa, which is a U.S. territory. Arizona, Arkansas, California, Washington, D.C., Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, North Dakota, Oregon, Tennessee, Texas, Washington. If your state isn't listed, visit your local LIHEAP representative uh, to see if other funding options are available. To apply for LIHEAP, find out if you qualify, check out their website. And you can see here they have LIHEAP in all states. You can just Google LIHEAP. Just Google that. Or for help applying, you can call this toll-free number 1-866-675-6327. Just verify that that is correct if you call that number. But if you just Google LIHEAP, the first result here will go directly here to the government page. You'll notice it's a government website because you can go to .gov, okay, .gov. And from here, you'll want to go to right here in the middle. It says, yeah, here's the phone number as well. You can also see in the middle here, it says, click here to find the contact information for your state or tribe. You can click that state link, and then you'll kind of see here each state's information. And that's where you can kind of find, you can just click on any state here. I'll just click Texas, for example, here. And then you can figure out how to apply. You can find the Texas website, the Texas phone number, etc. You can do this for any state. You can click Wyoming here and do the same thing, right? And as always, I have links down below in the description of this video showing you how to do this for utility assistance. There might be some other tips and tricks for this as well with a video down below with that. And always, there's also rent assistance and mortgage assistance as well, showing you how to find that for your state as well. Remember, there's new money for rent assistance that has recently become available. There's homeowners assistance. Remember, they said 9.8. The other number was 9.9 billion. We're splitting hairs here, right? But I'm pretty sure that all the homeowners assistance is still available. There was a new funding for rent assistance that was available as well. If you haven't applied for that and you're low or middle low income, and if you're low income, you should probably just apply. Some states require you to be behind on rent, but some don't. So really, if you're just low income, you should just apply. Worst case scenario, they say, no, you didn't get it. But best case scenario, they say, what'll happen is you'll go and apply, and then you'll probably hear nothing from them for several weeks. But it's kind of like a free lottery ticket, but with a much higher chance of actually winning the lottery. You know how your odds of winning the lottery are like one in who who knows, right? But I have literally had thousands of people comment here on my channel saying, "Thank you, Jimmy, for showing me how to do this with utility assistance, rent assistance, and mortgage assistance." I've literally had thousands of people in the comments. If you even read the comments here in this video, if you've gotten utility, rent assistance, or mortgage assistance, please comment down below and tell people, "Yeah, I got it." Even if you didn't get it from my help. I'm not even trying to take credit. I'm just trying to tell people about this because this is money that's available. And I'm trying to help as many people as possible. Our viewers here are the best community ever. You ever read our comments here from our viewers? We are the most warmest community here on YouTube, and I'm trying to help as many people as possible. There was a recent Forbes article that said, in fact, I'll bring it up here. I'll just Google it real quick. Yeah, here it is directly from Forbes. 90% of eligible families don't access public benefits. You can pretty much disregard the rest of the headline there. But 90% of eligible families don't access public benefits. Things like SNAP, things like rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance, the child tax credits, which people have to file a tax return to get the other half of the money. I'm trying to remind people about that. There's so many different things, even stimulus checks on the state level. A lot of people are going to have to file a tax return for that. So even if you don't normally file a tax return, even if you have no income at all, you can still file a tax return. You can just file one on the state level, even if you have no income at all. You can just file a tax return. It can be free to do. You just file a tax return and get a stimulus check. I mean, if you're from like one of these states like Maine here that just passed a $850 stimulus check per person, or for married couples, that's $1,700. What if you miss out on that because you don't file a state tax return? It's because some people don't need to. They, could be on Social Security, or, they're below the income requirements. But some of these states are going to require you to file a state tax return to verify how much money you make, because they don't know how much money you make. They don't know if you're over the income limit, or they might not even know if you exist to send you a stimulus check, right? If you don't file a tax return, how do they even know where you live to send you a stimulus check. So kind of think about that, kind of think through that, right? Um, so it's kind of simple. You just file a tax return. In a lot of cases, you can do it for free. So that's why I'm trying to help out as many people as I can. You read that Ford article there on the screen. 90% of families miss out on a lot of this money. And you're watching the show, so I'm telling you about this money that's available. Rent assistance, mortgage assistance, utility assistance, stimulus checks that a lot of people miss out on, child tax credits. The IRS says that there could be millions of people that miss out on the other half of the child tax credits because they don't file a tax return for 2021 here in 2022. Even though the filing date, the deadline is passed, you can still file. You'll just be late. But if you don't even owe the IRS money, there's no penalty. There's only a penalty if you owe them money. If they owe you money, literally the penalty means nothing because there's only a penalty, an interest penalty, if you owe them. And then all it is a percentage based on what you owe them. And it's per day. It's a tiny minuscule amount on what you owe them. So if you owe them, couple $100, it's going to be like $1. It's a percentage, and it's a little bit per day. If you owe them a lot, then it's still a little bit per day, right? If you're a few days late, it's no big deal. But if they owe you, there's no penalty. And if you don't owe them nothing, there's no late. It's just, but still, you still want to file if they owe you money. So yeah, that's why I'm trying to kind of get this across, because a lot of people don't realize this stuff. And I get comments still here today from people from California who say, I never got my California stimulus check. And I'm like, did you file a tax return? Yeah, because and that's why I've been trying to tell people, because you could have filed a tax return, even if you don't have any income. Um, you can. It's probably too late now, but for these state stimulus checks going forward, you can file a state. Like Maine says, you can file. I think it's till like October. um, look it up. And again, my advice for anybody, if your state is going to give out a stimulus check and it's one of the states that's going to require you to file a tax return, I don't know anybody's personal situation. I'm talking to thousands of people here. You probably want to go and talk to somebody that knows taxes in your situation, because you may or may not want to file. I don't know. Um, Talk to somebody who's in your family and knows taxes, or walk into an H&R Block and say, hey, can you give me some advice? Because you probably want to get some advice, because I'm just talking to thousands of people here. Everybody's situation is a little bit different. So you got to take that in mind. But, even if you do have to, if you're getting like a $850 stimulus check, even if you have to pay somebody $50 and you still net $800, it might be worth it. Might be worth it. But I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. If you have a friend or family that could do it for free, always better. But honestly, if you walk into an H&R Block and you're just talking with someone, you probably just get some free advice, some friendly advice, if you don't know anybody that knows anything about taxes too. But honestly, a lot of these states are passing stimulus checks, and you also got to kind of remember here too. Um, a lot of these states are probably going to do it next year as well, and there's some of these states that are gun shy about doing it. They Some states are going to probably do it next year as well. We're actually going to probably see some states do it this year and next year as well. We could see some states not do it this year, but do it next year. We could see some states do pausing the gas tax this year and then do stimulus checks next year. We could see some states do, like Illinois just did a variety of things where I get some people complain about Illinois, and I get it that their checks are on the smaller side, but you got to remember that they have multiple different things there. They have $50 checks for adults. I get it. That's small. I get it. $100 checks for children. But overall, that can add up. You look at two adults can be a 50 and 50 is 100. You can get up to three checks for children. That can be 300. So you could get up to $400 there. You can get up to a $300 check if you're a property owner. So you can get up to $300 there. So total, you can get up to $700 check for a family there. Again, it depends on how many people are in your family and if you're a homeowner. So I get it. It depends there. They also got rid of the grocery tax and the gas tax. I got to remember the detail on the gas tax for that specific state, but they did gas tax and grocery tax. So you're saving money on gas taxes and grocery taxes. So they did multiple different things there. But you also got to remember, and I'm not from Illinois, so I literally have no affiliation with them, but they're massively in debt, and they've done a pretty big turnaround. And I read it to you on the screen here. And honestly, for Illinois to even be sending out multiple checks like that and reducing or getting rid of grocery taxes and gas taxes, when you look at what a lot of other states are really doing in comparison, it's actually a lot, because a lot of states, we haven't even seen nearly that much. And Illinois is one of the most in debt states, and they're coming out of it, right? They're doing, one of those turnarounds. So um I don't know. I personally think they did a really good job. Like Virginia is considering $50 stimulus checks, right? So when you look at like comparison, Illinois did a lot more, and Virginia, they're the Democrats and the Republicans are kind of battling there. The Democrats want to do $50 stimulus checks. Republicans want to just pause the gas tax. Not that I'm comparing states here, but like Illinois, I think did a really good job there, because for them to even do all that was actually over and above and beyond. Because honestly, uh, with the amount of debt they have, it was kind of overreaching. And I actually think that more states should try to do what Illinois did, because a lot of states aren't in debt like Illinois is. Illinois is one of the, if not the most in debt state. Other states, like California has this massive, and Alaska have these massive surpluses. And remember, just a few years ago, California was in debt. California is kind of like the I don't know who would we confer this to, the Rocky, Rocky over there, the Rocky turnaround story, the Cinderella Man story, where they went from like being massively in debt to now massively out of debt. And they gave stimulus checks away last year, and then they're gonna probably do something again this year. They're haggling over it. They're trying to figure it out. Remember, they got to pass it in their state legislature as well. But last year they did those $600 stimulus checks and $1,100 stimulus checks if you had a child. You had to file a tax return though in the state. The main reason for that is because, and some states are, a lot of states are going to do this. Remember, it's kind of the same on the federal level. The only thing that was different on the federal level, really, those went out to taxpayers. The only thing different on the federal level is they did that non-filer tool. They did that non-filer tool, okay? So that non-filers could get those checks, okay? But states need to know how much money you make, and they need to know where you live. So the problem is that if you're not a tax filer, um, how do they know where you live, and how do they know how much money you make? How do they know if you're above the income limits? So that's why I'm trying to help everybody out here so that you guys can get these stimulus checks. I want everybody to get these checks if you're entitled to them, if you're due them. So you might want to file a tax return to get these checks if you want to get them. If you don't want to file a tax return, I totally get it. I totally get it because if you think it might mess with your disability or something like that, again, I don't know everybody's situation or anything like that. That's why you want to look into your own personal situation or something like that. But yeah, but if you're looking at getting like California had $600 stimulus checks per person, $1,100 if you had a child, and if it's for a husband and a wife, those can really add up. Maine's $850 per person. Alaska's looking at sending out $2,600 per person this year. Pennsylvania possibly $2,000 per person this year directly from the governor. They haven't passed that one yet, but they're trying to. A lot of these different states are trying big ones. Now, there is one state, I don't remember who it was, but they said that they were going to try to send them out to non filers by looking them up via their driver's license. So, each state's a little different. So I'll keep you up to date here with everything. That's why don't miss any videos. I'll try to keep you up to date. As I see more states. Missouri's got a stimulus check proposal from the Democrats and the Republicans. I'm going to try to keep you up to date here with everything as I see it, as well as the federal stimulus checks, the Build Back Better package, which is going to have a new name now. Everything I'll keep you up to date here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you see any states here coming up with new stuff, let me know in the comments. Hopefully I'll see it. But make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I just did a really big video on Social Security raises. You can click here to see that next. And you can also click here to see a big video I did on more stimulus checks. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.